So welcome, everybody. I'm going to focus initially on this scout movement here from Ciskhan. Okay, he's just pushing a deer. This is officially the very first set of Titans League Season 5 Platinum, $64,000. And here we have Group B. For those that have missed it, Group B, seen as the group of death. Group B has 4 players that are in the top 8 going to the Red Bull event in April, for example. 4 out of the 8 of them is crazy. Ciskhan and Lucho, 2 very, very good promoted players. They came up here after a good performance last season in gold, but the goal is going to be just stay in platinum. Now, in the past, you could maybe get relegated from platinum, and obviously you'd be disappointed, but you know, the money wasn't necessarily there to stay in platinum, even if you were at, weren't one of the top guys. It is now. So you could go like 0-15 this season and still probably make more money than most players in gold. So very proud of that. The fact that we have 25K in gold, we have 10K in silver, and then, of course, we had the bronze bracket. But Ciskhan, young up-and-coming player, he's going to want to get the results here. And in TTL, every single game matters. Now, Hardy is not going to like this, but we actually have the Civ draft here for YouTube. And you might be like, well, why is that an issue, T90? Well, I forgot to change it. That is the wrong freaking Civ draft. Okay, today's the practice day. Today's the practice day. That is a Civ draft from another series. I am going to make life easier for Hardy. I'm so sorry. I was actually so much worse than I thought, but we're going to figure it out. So what we have here, let me just add the flags real quickly. What we have here is we have a new and improved version of Valley. Now, these were some of my ideas because I felt like the version of Valley that exists in the game kind of sucks, right? That's very professional of me to say. I think it kind of sucks. I think the wood lines are too large. I think the concept of needing to take the resources in the middle doesn't exactly work out because you can just push in a million deer. And also, there's not as much food in the middle anyways. So basically, we've opened this up. We've made it a very open map compared to Standard Valley. And you can see Yo has brought the mule cart here, and Yo is taking, there's some chickens in there. Chat, do your thing. There's some chickens vibing. And then, oh, he's not vibing anymore. Then there's also some hares. And yeah, Georgians are just a really good choice on this map for this reason. Keep this in mind, though. I mean, I thought he was going to play Georgians on another map. Georgians are by no means bad here, but I think having the mule carts could be really good on one of the other maps we have, which is also a shakeup of a known concept. So, Ciskhan just bringing in his boar. And he did actually find 2 deer to push. So I didn't want to completely remove the possibility of pushing deer. So there is the occasional deer, but you have to look really hard. The fact that he got 2 is actually a surprise to me. You can see that guy. It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Like, where's the deer? Do you see one? I don't see one. Oh, wait. Bam. See what I mean? So, clearly, Ciskhan doesn't want to take any risks. He wants to play from home, probably work towards some walls long term. But the map is very open. Mr. Yo has scouted all around him here. I think the matchup's pretty even. I think if I had to choose a Civ, here comes Ciskhan. He's found another deer. So he's got that. Yo could do something to deny that with his scout. And Yo sees it, yeah. I think I prefer the Vietnamese if this game goes late. But it might be a 50-50 matchup. Yeah, scouts find each other here. Georgian scout actually does regenerate as well slowly in feudal age. So that's a fight that Yo's fine with. He just doesn't want that deer to get pushed. It's kind of close, though. Ciskhan has a choice. Also, the scout just stopped for Ciskhan. Did you see that? What happened? The scout just didn't attack. I don't know what happened there. I have no real easy explanation for that, but the deer's going to go back home. And Ciskhan's scout's now a little bit weaker, and he doesn't get his deer. So maybe he accidentally pressed no attack stance there. That's the only explanation that would make sense. But that's not really a standard thing to happen. Someone in YouTube chat is asking, is there a T90 drunk emote? I don't think there's a T90 drunk emote. There may or may not be photo evidence that I have been drunk before, which could possibly work. There is the spin and the run, which is from a story which I really don't feel like telling again. So I guess we have some of that. So I'm really curious how long Mr. Yo stays in the middle here. Because while the chickens are there, that is like a target. So I think Yo will probably just occasionally, or not occasionally come home, eventually come home. He's got the berries. He's still got some sheep. So I think the food income's going to be fine. And Mr. Yo hoping to chase down Ciskhan's scout. Ciskhan is Vietnamese, so he's able to do all the things he was doing with the deer and still know exactly where his opponent is going to be. But Ciskhan's a really good Arabia-style player, which is what I would consider this to be. We don't actually have Arabia in the pool, but we have Arabia-style maps, and we have 15 maps in the pool. So it depends on how many categories you think there are. I would argue there's maybe 4 or 5 categories of Age of Empires 2 maps. Maybe 6 if you count nothing maps, but we don't have nothing maps. Anyways, we got like a mix of 3 to 4 of each style. If you like your walls, it's there. If you like no water, it's there. If you love the water, it's there. It's a really nice mix. We won't see any water in this series. Or at least not a lot of it. All right, I'm going to tell you guys a tiny little detail. Tell me if you're disappointed by this detail or if it makes sense. We actually made it so you cannot dock the middle here. And I know my Loey the Legend fans are going to be maybe like, no, McLean, because there was a 10 elo guy named McLean who'd have 17 villagers and still somehow get to imp and make cannon galleons here. But, whoa, that's my mouse playing games on me, guys. This stupid mouse. Still open for sponsorships, but I'm sorry about that. Anyways, I just didn't want this to become a dock map. I wanted this to be a land map. I didn't want the theming of the map to be wrong. Hopefully you enjoyed what those trees looked like. I figured some of you guys would be a little bit bummed by that. Ciskhan's got his eco upgrades, as does Yo. It's a pretty calm, relaxing game here so far. Ciskhan knows that Yo's coming in. And he has the spearman here too. So Mr. Yo will see that. But this is a lot of control for Yo. And Yo's still in the middle. Yo's still eating those chickens. He's got 2 spearmen waiting. Watching Mr. Yo play is always so interesting because he's so relaxed. Funny thing about Yo, guys. So he'll put his units in box formation like everybody else. So he's going for the spearman here. All right, takes the trade. That's okay. His units will consistently move out of that box formation. If you watch him, he always plays cav, right? So they're kind of boxed up there. Notice how Ciskhan's will stay bunched up in the box. But Yo's will occasionally go into line formation. Just wait for it. It'll happen. And I send him actually away. It's because Yo is old like me and how we've managed our units. Just because of habits. And there's actually a way with a recent patch to basically fix that if you have a habit because some new escape command they added. And I told him how to fix it. And then I don't believe he did. As I say this, his units are pretty boxed up nicely. He's coming to the middle again for more chickens, which is crazy. Yeah, there they go. See, look, they go out of the formation. When I sent him how to fix that problem, he said, OMG, you saved my life. I thought it was a hotkey bug, but I'm guessing he didn't do the thing. Yep, now they're going to get back in formation. I mean, Yo is playing calm here. This is a lot of confidence. And it's kind of crazy to me. I mean, Ciskhan, it's his first game in Platinum. This is maybe one of his biggest events ever, and so for him, you could sit here and say you should be going and killing those villagers, but if he does that, then he's not secure at home. Mr. Yo goes in. He'll take down the spearman. That's a really nice engagement for Yo. He storms the hill. The spearmen disappear. There's still more scouts here for Yo. That was a great engagement for Yo. Still taking the chickens. And look at the patience from him, too. Super patient. And in the end, he may be a little too patient. But you don't want to take a risk there either. Honestly, though, if he ran in and just walked on by, what a nightmare that would be for Ciskhan. These are some massive freaking walls. My goodness. Look how far he is walled. So I said it isn't wallable. It is. It's just, you just depends how much you commit to it, I guess. This house might be going down pretty soon. He's got 3 villagers repairing it. And meanwhile, the scouts and the spearmen for Ciskhan are looping around. Yo still has the vills in the middle, relatively unexposed. But there's so much pressure from Mr. Yo that Ciskhan always feels like he has to react to this. Bloodlines is on the way for Yo's scouts. But Yo will fall back now. So, it's funny. The only upload I've had of this map in Titans League so far this season is that game between Jordan and Dogao where it became a wood game. But guys, just because that game happened doesn't mean that this will become a wood game. Famous last words, possibly, but there's been other games that it doesn't become a wood game. And Mr. Yo, oh man, what, hello? I don't think that's a good fight at all. Mr. Yo gets a little too crazy, tosses away like 4 scouts. Remember, he didn't get any economic damage, and his villagers are still exposed. That was a confusing engagement for Yo. And again, kind of confusing engagements here. So maybe Mr. Yo just not as sharp as it seemed like. It seemed like he was looking good on the offense. But he still has villagers right here. Like, he's clearly very paranoid about these villagers. It's crazy he's eating so many chickens. And those spearmen from Ciskhan still getting some nice hits. His scouts are much weaker. But as long as he can kill off some of the scouts, I think he'll be happy. Well, in the end, Mr. Yo's going to be very happy with this because Mr. Yo's killed literally everything. Didn't lose any vills. And Mr. Yo's probably sitting there like, it's fine, man. It's fine. Double archer range for Ciskhan. Ciskhan's on the way up. Ciskhan is definitely playing cav archers. But where is this dude going? Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Well, he wasn't No way Ciskhan just did that. He wasn't selfish. In fact, he decided to not even give the opponent the satisfaction of getting the kill, and he killed himself. I think what happened there was he's double checking if there's a hole in his wall, so he clicks behind, and then there happened to be a gap because he had built a gate. Really, you should try and wall in the villager, but that's funny. It doesn't look bad on the eco KD now. Now, so someone arrives. Just now, they're not going to be thinking Ciskhan's behind. Smart. You got to do it for the viewers. Man, guys, do not think that people are going to play this map and eat all these chickens. I'm telling you, I thought people would do it a little bit. But what we're seeing here from Yo is crazy. He is all about it. But again, it's extremely risky to just assume that everything is going to be fine out there if army starts to come out. But Mr. Yo just looks like he feels like he can do no wrong. No archer range or anything for Yo. I think he's just going to drop town centers and boom. It's going to be 3 archer ranges from Ciskhan. So he's going to play cav archers. And Vietnamese cav archers are insanely strong. Also, I just want to bring up that when I said that I told Mr. Yo what he needed to do to solve his problem with the scout thing, and I don't think he did it, my editor and also longtime friend who's been very, shall we say, blunt with me over the years, very German with me over the years, he said, now you know how I feel. Which is hilarious, Hardy. Honestly, that's probably going to get me, that is probably going to get me to fix that thing. Now I understand more. Thank you. Scout for Yo scouting. This is such a Yo thing. Can we get some autos in chat? Such a Yo thing. Finds the weak scout. I guess it will heal up or whatever with this Sib, but he's always got one scout on auto scout, man. A Fire Lancer pops out there for Ciskhan. You know what I don't like? I don't like this town center. Because Yo will run right underneath that at some point. This creates a gap in your wall. I do like the positioning of it. I think he was not expecting it to be like Cav, though. This is actually a very good town center if you're expecting to be ranged on the other side of the wood line by Cav archers or something. So the more I think about it, the more it's fine. And he actually dropped the house here, said the units can't run in. So that town center's fine. Here comes Ciskhan's Cav archers. Vietnamese Cav archers, some of the best in the game. And Mr. Yo, look at him, dude. Look at all those chickens. He's down here taking the food, over here taking the food, just being super sneaky. Super, super sneaky. Church at home. And that church will increase the, with the Georgian bonus, he'll have the increased work rate around the church, which is good. Second town center on the gold, which is good too. And he's making some skirms. I don't love Yo's eco balance, to be honest with you. 14 on gold when you're not making any gold units besides a monk is not good. And I don't think he has a market. So I really do think, I know Mr. Yo's the favorite, blah, 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 all that stuff. But like, Ciskhan is fully walled. He technically didn't lose a villager. Just one villager lost to himself. And Vietnamese eco upgrades are in and flying. So I just think it'll be fun to see if Ciskhan can find this. And most of the relics are in the middle too. So there's no relics on the back. On this map, the relics are along this little dry river. But Mr. Yo, hoping to raid with Light Cav. And he'll attack the houses here, but he won't get through. And the Cav Archers for Ciskhan, they're on the move. Now, if I saw double archer range, I would honestly assume that that's Cav Archers as well. I would not assume Skirms. Skirms is the better play for Yo because Vietnamese Cav Archers are superior. But from Ciskhan's perspective, he's probably like, oh, he's going Cav Archers. Okay. Well, I have better Cav Archers. That's fine. He's not going to make any strategic changes. I love Mr. Yo's patience. It can almost be frustrating at times, but I just love how he's chilling. He's like, no, I don't need him yet. I don't need to do anything. I'm fine. Again, shout out to people watching on YouTube. We see some people saying, when did T90 start to stream on YouTube? We're doing that for Titans League every Friday through Monday with an exception or two. Because there will be some schedule changes. I'll talk to you guys about the schedule and all that good stuff. But basically, Titans League runs until March 22nd. So I don't know exactly what day it is for everybody right now. Depending on time zones, it might be, what, the 7th for some people? But it's currently the 6th of February for me. Also, there's so much I haven't talked about. If you want to support and actually get something in return, we have new merch, switch companies. I'll be quote-unquote modeling it for you this week, showing you guys what we've got. We got some cool stuff on there. I get like nothing crazy, $4, $5, $6 from that. Super easy way to support the stream and also have some fun stuff with some gifts or something. This is a crazy push from Yo. Mr. Yo's got full upgrades on the skirms. He's got ballistics, he's got armor, and he's got the attack. And Ciskhan was not expecting this. This comes at a really awkward time for Ciskhan. He wanted to take this stone. Now he's mixing in knights, which is a nice call, but the Cav Archers are getting whittled down. And if you ever lose your Cav Archers here, super easy for Yo to manage this and just mix another unit. So you really need this combination. A bit of panic here for Ciskhan. Yo will use this time to maybe start to get the relics. He already got one. He's about to get the second. I see a monk moving up for the third. And now he's here with his own church and own villagers on stone. Still villagers down here, which is crazy. So freaking smooth for Mr. Yo. But you got to put respect on Ciskhan's name. I think people need to realize how good he is. Look at the score! I just realized. Look at the difference in scouting. And look at the score. Because of that auto scout, Yo's score is crazy high. Oh, man, that was a good engagement for Yo. He got the conversion and some good volleys on the Cav Archers. I didn't realize Yo was like over 1,000 score ahead. That doesn't even feel accurate to the game state at all. Guys, and people look at that, right? Like, people look at that in-game to get a feel for how the game is flowing for them. It feels like this army, you either need more numbers or more upgrades for Ciskhan. He's going to try and do both. Chain Barding Armor's on the way and more knights. Double gold compositions usually are superior when they combine against one trap. Well, I mean, basically two comps that don't cost any gold. This should be a fight that Ciskhan wins. But Mr. Yo will probably patiently back up towards a castle or something. We'll see. So far, he's pretty confident. The knights have full armor now. He shouldn't be as confident. But his Cav Archers need to stay alive here for Ciskhan. And his units also have to respect the monks that are waiting behind. Dude, Skirmisher Monk is just a really strong composition here, right? Because players never want to lose their knights, and so Ciskhan has to back away. And now Mr. Yo is up. Or he's clicked up. And this is a very cheap composition for Yo. So he's getting the relics. That's good long-term gold income. That's going to be 4 relics. He could potentially get all 5. Still has villagers on the chickens and the deer. 32 minutes in the game. I wish there was a stat. I wish I could select these units and see how much food they brought in. I'm sure someone can do the math. But yeah, Yo's just in such a good state. And I would just say a couple defensive castles could make sense now. You can continue to play like Cav and Skirmisher. No real reason not to. Ciskhan has just never really had any way to control this game. He's taken no initiative. I think it all goes back to feudal age. He walled a lot. And if you just sit back against Mr. Yo, you're going to be sitting back a whole lot longer. Oh, big fight in the middle, though. Man, Ciskhan's units are just running the wrong directions here. Units are not immediately chasing. He did lose a knight or two and I guess killed the monks. But Mr. Yo's running away here. No problem. Doesn't lose a unit. Mr. Yo's backing away here. Mr. Yo's bringing villagers like he wants to build a forward castle. Now, that castle makes a little bit more sense. And Mr. Yo can see all this. He's got monks everywhere. There's the castle. Oh, God. Oh, God. Where can Ciskhan go? Where can he go? Well, here he goes. Monks didn't get all the conversions they would have wanted. The knights are going to run in. Yo is casually building this castle. These knights are going to make it through. Ciskhan's on the way to Imp. More villagers than Yo. Yo will probably end up with 5 relics. That's a nice raid for Ciskhan. Again, the units are on stand grounds. Like, there's something going on with the unit stances with him. Remember his scout in Dark Age just froze in that one fight. I mean, people are using stand ground a lot right now for patrols because the units stack up. And so the risk, of course, is if you leave them there, you don't change the stance, then you're going to have a situation like that. Yo reaches Imp and has 1,600 food. Crazy game from Mr. Yo. And he brings back a couple monks and 2 of the knights he converted. And the light cav here, and he'll hope to get the kills. And Mr. Yo, 5 relics. Game 1 as the favorite. Can you bet against him? I don't think you can. He'll clear this. Beautiful job at saving the monk inside of the fortified church. And he's got his first trebuchets on the way to push Ciskhan. Remember, Ciskhan's army was really expensive. Yo's army is really good value. Yo has 5 knights now. Still think Yo should probably spend his resources a little bit faster here. But you have to imagine that that is going to happen. Like, he was very late on upgrades, for example. His cav didn't have any upgrades except forging. 30 seconds until Ciskhan is an imp. Ciskhan won his group in golds, where there were some really good players who were more well-known than him. And that's how he got to platinum. But now he's with the big boys. And now he's finding out pretty quickly how difficult this is going to be. Light cav go in. I think it's a little wasteful from Yo. You guys know me. I'd like to see him wait for 4 trebuchets. That's a trickle treb right there, as I like to say. It dawned on me the other day that trickle treb might not be something that people fully understand. Like, I don't know if the word trickle makes sense to someone who's heard that for the first time. But basically, it's like, you know, if like water's trickling from a spout, from the sink or something, you know, that's what I mean by trickle treb. You don't want to trickle them in. They're so expensive. You want to wait for a group of them and then make your move. Because now Ciskhan just got good value. He gets himself a lot more time where he doesn't have to fight. Mr. Yo probably needs to build up good defensive castles. That's a really nice hill on the left side. Still hasn't lost any villagers on the deer and on the chickens. It's ridiculous. You know what I can't wait to do is at the end of this game. Go, bunny, go. Be free. Be free. At the end of this game, I'm going to double click all the chickens and the bunnies, and we'll get to find out how much food there was compared to the end of the game. Yo dropping stables. Yo is 1 treb again. So any guesses on what's going to happen? Ciskhan will probably immediately dive. But Ciskhan really doesn't have a very big army. He did kill the light cav this way. I wanted to also see, does Ciskhan know about this? Okay, he knows about that stone and gold. Mr. Yo will die for the treb as well. In Ciskhan's case, he feels he has to defend himself, of course. And, yep, Yo loses another treb. Ciskhan's holding. Guys, Vietnamese are a really good civ. Vietnamese, arguably the best late game civ there is. I understand that relics are really important and that Mr. Yo is Mr. Yo, but Mr. Yo, a little too relaxed with the push, maybe. Would love to see him try and raid the sides. Like, he's really central focused. He did try and raid this side, I suppose. But Ciskhan is actually exposed over here. So when you're playing Hussar, that's what you want to do. Also, some unique techs could start flying in. I think this would be a great unique tech for Yo to snag. Especially with how many mounted units he's going to make. Would love to see paper money for Ciskhan. But there's still a lot of stone and a lot of gold left on this map. And there's still a lot of techs that these guys can get to improve their armies. It's pretty even, though, because neither player's fully maxed. Yo did just get Hussar, so at least that's capped. But the skirmishers for the Georgians are just not very strong, guys. So the skirmishers are going to disappear. And then we will have 30 heavy cav archers with the Vietnamese. That's 92 HP. I don't think Yo is going to have these Trebs alive. And I don't think Yo is having a very good time in the main battle. He did find a crazy raid on the left side, though. So this is how you play with Hussars. You're happy to lose one battle as long as you can raid. So Mr. Yo will take this. But if Ciskhan can keep his cav archers alive, the cav archers are key here. I love this. He'll stonewall, so all this is protected in the back. But I don't love this for Ciskhan. The Hussars are through. And it's just so annoying. It takes so long to kill them. And then your eco's idle, and then there's just going to be another wave of Hussars. At least there's going to be some counter damage. That's nice from Ciskhan. There's a lot of exposed eco for Yo. Look at Yo's stone count. Yo could have castles everywhere. It's a crazy raid. 30 villagers have gone down this game for Ciskhan. Ciskhan needs the counter damage. Please, not a just passing moment, Ciskhan. Okay, he finds 18 villagers. I think he'll kill these Hussars. He did end up completing this wall just in time, so Yo can't be through. So both players taking some losses. Ciskhan seems a little like he's losing track, like he's a little overwhelmed. I think he's spending a lot of his time walling right now. But he definitely needs to get those walls down and then be active with the cav archers. Very nice game. Very nice game. Yo has this little side push. We'll see what he does with it. I think the raid that Yo just experienced can't happen again. I think there needs to be castles or towers or fortifications. I wouldn't mind a castle here, too. Basically, make it so anytime the units move in, you're fine. Finally, Yo is listening. He's going to wait for 3 Trebs and try and be patient. Oh, my God. Ciskhan can't see this. I was so confused why this army was just sitting here and why Ciskhan didn't do anything. Ciskhan knows the towers there, and that's it. Okay, so now he's going to see the ram. Now he knows something's up. But he's building up his snowball to make a big push. He can't let Yo through here. Because this is where most of his stone and gold is going to be. Yo researching both unique techs now. Svan Towers is crazy strong for the churches and these towers. I actually think it's one of the strongest tower upgrades we've ever seen. And there's some strong ones in the game. And he's also upgrading to keep. But Ciskhan will try a raid. That will fail. Over here, he immediately wants to stop this from adding up. Bombard cannons and cav archers there for the guard tower. That tower will go down. But another tower will be replaced, and the Hussars are going to get through. Yeah, so with Svan Towers, your towers are doing pass-through damage. So they kind of damage the whole group. It's really good. And that won't be too big of a raid. This is a big raid. Ciskhan is still just so... He's basically patrolled, and the ram soaked up the damage. And now, Mr. Yo, 4 trebuchets. He distracts Ciskhan, and he makes the move for the castle. That is textbook. That's perfect. You raid, your opponent reacts, and then you hit them somewhere else. That was a beautiful setup. And usually you don't even know if the raid's going to do any damage. The raid is just the setup. But the raid also did significant damage. He's also got towers over here, guys. Man, he's towering everywhere. He's even going to tower the middle. And I don't know, man. Ciskhan has lost 70 vills. He doesn't even have his side of the map secured. The Hussars are just going to spam endlessly. Mr. Yo will have... He'll probably build up something else on this side before you know it. Just more Hussars running in all the time. He sees the Trebs over here. He sniped 1 or 2. That's going to be all the Trebs down. So now these towers could just stay up and still disrupt the wood line. Well, he did get a little adventurous there. But these 3 trebuchets are just going to move over for this side and this castle now. Yeah, that trebuchet wanted to be a ram. And his parents said he couldn't be a ram. He had to be a treb. And he said, don't tell me what to do. Yeah, there's another Siege Workshop from Mr. Yo. Full control. Ciskhan, I'm sure, understands that this is not going so well. But he wants to fight. It's his first game in Platinum. And unfortunately, he cannot fight any longer. Great opening there from Mr. Yo. I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy when I say things. You might. But I want to go all the way back to Feudal Age with this, really, because I think it just set the tone of the game. Mr. Yo was exposed with his villagers in the middle the whole game, pretty much, right? But Ciskhan never was able to do anything. And if you look back at the Feudal Age approach, what was the Feudal Age approach for Ciskhan? It was go for the biggest freaking walls and defend, 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 defend. But then the problem is you're in this cycle where your opponent has the initiative, and he was never able to reclaim the initiative. Now, he did try, but every time he tried, Yo was already prepared for what was going to come. Yo made that look very easy. Okay. True. Chicken count. This is really tough because I have to double-click the chicken. I have to double-click the hares. But I think I have the hares and the chickens. Am I... Oh my god, there's different types of chickens I gotta click? Oh my... Oh, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Zoom out. Double click. There's different types of hares and chickens. Capture Age doesn't let me get them all. Okay, roughly speaking. That's 9,600 food from chickens and hares. At the end of the game, there was 4,400 food left of the same selection. So he brought in 5K food from chickens and hares that game with those villagers. Wow. Obviously, he probably brought in a lot more with farms. But that's ridiculous. And I think Ciskhan should have never let him get away with it. So, well played to Mr. Yo. He wins the first game. All right, so Mr. Yo in the red, Ciskhan in the blue. And, yeah, they were immediately into it here. And we got African River. So African River, you have the outer river where there's quite a bit of fish. So the fish are valuable. This is a hybrid map, but there's only in these 4 separate pockets that are all connected. So it is possible to play heavy water, but when you're this close together on land, big incentive to play aggressive on land as well. There's also a lot of food on this map. So you have your rhino, but then you also have the ostrich and the zebra all around, and the berries, and then, of course, that's on top of the fish. So typically what I've seen is a lot of man-at-arm openings here. So think Japanese, Dravidians, any civ that has really good infantry is very strong here because you're very close. Sometimes you see tower rushes as well. So with Koreans being here, I'm thinking that Mr. Yo is thinking about those towers. But with Armenians for Ciskhan, I think he wants something extreme because he's the underdog, because everyone matters so much. I think he wants to go long swordsman in Feudal Age. And they do have good navy bonuses as well, but I would imagine you probably just pick this civilization for that. Tomorrow, thanks for the 2 months. DV, thank you for the 8 months. Zayed, thank you for the 43. Alfster, thank you for the gifts again, man. Junior, Needless, Brutal, and Schlumpf. Oomba with tier 3, 3 years. Wow, thank you so much, Oomba. Guys, I am sorry if I miss you. This is actually a lot to manage right now, streaming on the 2 platforms and trying to get all the information out there. So, doing my best. It's crazy how much support we've had so far. Thank you. There's been very clear amount of hype and interest in this, which makes it all worth it. So, Ciskhan's going to drop the dock over here. Now, that's the other interesting thing about this map, is there's no one obvious starting dock. So, I would have assumed that Ciskhan will go here, but he went up here instead. I think some of that's just based on where they scout, but some of it you might want to be sneaky. Mr. Yo is going to dock over here, for example. Yo will want towers. Yo basically wants Castle Age. Koreans don't have any early bonuses. The Armenians do. The mule carts are nice. The long swords are nice. But it just comes down to, can Ciskhan do damage? Which is why I think this is a good home map choice for him. The previous game was just way too adaptive. Here, you have to send it. The Civ matchup calls for it. Remember, It's not so much about the 30 bucks per game. It's about the overall standings and the way the group works. So Ciskhan will know that wins are going to be hard to come by. He will want to essentially avoid relegation. I don't think that's disrespectful for me to say. Because this group is just full of killers. So that's just alphabetical. So Yo is in the relegation zone because of alphabetical order. But look at that. I mean, you have to avoid being the top 2 in that list of names. So a win here is my point could be awesome. Just even one win would be a good start, but realistically, you're gonna have to win a series or two. That's just how it goes. Mr. Yo has his dock down here. Ciskhan has the dock up here, and Ciskhan is not adding the 4th fishing ship. Yeah, so if you're going for archers or something, you'll maybe add the 4th fishing ship. But if you're going man-at-arms, you don't go for the 4th fishing ship so you can get the barracks up on time. This is exactly what we said. This should also be something that Mr. Yo is waiting for. So Mr. Yo probably will need to wall up a little bit. Relegated by alphabet. Well, I point that out because there was someone who was like, why is Mr. Yo in last? You know, what did he do? Alphabetical order's a thing, so. Los Bad Hombres, good question. Thank you for the resub. He says, I love the format, so fun. Who do you think will be the biggest surprise this season? Biggest surprise? I mean, I could show you everything. What do you guys think? Biggest surprise? Would maybe be a player who you're not expecting to do well? Who could do well? I got one for you. Because I did my predictions. I think Vivi is going to be kind of back this season. I look at that group. I've seen Vivi play recently. I actually think Vivi, because everyone looks at Vivi and everyone's like, Vivi, isn't what he used to be. I could see Vivi being a problem for some people in that group. I could see Vivi making playoffs. Not a deep run in the playoffs, but making playoffs could be interesting. Dragonstar is always fun. Every narrative, every time Dragonstar is in, you're thinking he's going to get relegated. And well, last time everyone thought that, and then Dalton Margugu got relegated instead. So that'll be a fun thing to watch as well. All right, Fire Galleys coming out from Ciskhan. The militia are here. Now they're man-at-arms. Archer range behind the walls for Yo. This is just exactly how you write up the matchup. No early bonuses for Koreans, but as long as they're chill and play towards ranged units, they're usually pretty comfortable. So nice walling from Yo. Makes it look easy, but he timed it perfectly. I also like this little bubble here. This little bubble wall is nice because sometimes you have to go for the last minute small walls and it's very difficult. I would love to see a follow-up from Ciskhan immediately here. I actually wouldn't have hated a tower. I know it feels weird to tower rush Koreans, but Ciskhan is definitely in send it mode. Nice wall around his wood line. His fire galley's just playing defense right now. Arson's coming in now for the longswords. And Mr. Yo is realizing, yeah, this house is not going to survive for very long. So he has to drop a tower. He has the archer there. And, no, he's going to build it. Okay. I thought maybe he was going to cancel that, but that's a really good tower to place. All right, so what do you do now, Ciskhan? This is your strat. That's big investment. There's some idle TC time he didn't necessarily want. That's because of squeezing in the longsword upgrade. Now he has to apply pressure somewhere else. Now, Yo is completing this tower, so Yo can't just shift his tower over here. That would have been funny, though. If he deleted the tower and then could the tower over here, Ciskhan would have thought he was on stone. Guys, a strat that I think could happen with Koreans in the future, if you wanted to play tower defense, is you just put Vils out here. No one looks out here, ever. No one looks out here. Like, there's a lot of res out there. If you were to imagine Mongols, and you just have a mill out there, everybody is so focused on everything that's close by near these town centers. But then, once that starts to happen, then people know to look for it. But I think you can get away with it once or twice. See, look at Ciskhan. Now his walls aren't something that protects him to the same level. So he's paranoid. He'll drop a tower here. And now he's probably thinking Castle Age. And Mr. Yo, just relax.
Hungenhalten has just donated $23.64. Looking forward to a great TTL league. Keep up the great work. Your passion for the game is unbelievable.
Yo,
And
thank
a
you.
shout out to your admins and map makers.
Hunger, thank you so much. Chat, scale of 1 to 10, how jarring is the text-to-speech guy? Because it's freaking me out every time, man. I appreciate the dono. I appreciate the kind words. But sorry if that freaked you out at all. It's at the very least ruining my train of thought. Thank you so much. Yo is just relaxing right now. Yo is as happy as I am to get that dono and that people are giving credit to the map makers and the admins. R-Base, Lord Petito, and JBR, the admins. T-West, the scripter. Very happy with all that. But Mr. Yo is 10 times happier. Because he's able to play defense. He's held against this. He was able to apply a little bit of pressure on the fish, but he lost his fire galley there. And he'll drop another tower. And actually, Yo is taking stone over here now. Interesting. So he actually just... See, some people wouldn't do that, right? Because that would be too risky. But he knew where the army was. He tracked it. And now he's been able to get the stone for another tower. Imagine if Ciskhan would have gone with an immediate tower to force Yo's hand, but he was already on stone with one of his mule carts, and then he could just continue to build towers around. But that's not what Ciskhan likes to do. Ciskhan as a player is fairly meta. And if you're a fairly meta player, you either get the damage done against Yo or accept that this is going to go late game. And if it's going to go late game with the Koreans involved, it could be rather complicated. We can't forget about the water. We can't forget about that Ciskhan could go up to Castle Age as well. Yo's fishing ships are having to flee down to the original pocket. And Yo will lose a Vil. So first villager bites the dust. Koreans can't make demos, so you can use your longswords on water pretty confidently here. Which is kind of fun. Because I look at this and I immediately get anxiety that there's going to be a demo, but... No, a great job from Ciskhan to realize, no, he doesn't get demos. I might as well get some value. If you kill the fish and still have your own fishing ships, that's an advantage. Especially after a villager snipe. Yeah, nice job from Ciskhan. This is all worth it, in my opinion. Still has his range units alive, which he might need. And Yo's range units might just get roasted here. For dinner today is roasted skirmisher and roasted archers. Better than Brussels sprouts, but actually that's not true. But Brussels sprouts gets a bad reputation. But either way, Yo is going to be in Castle Age, 45 seconds away. He might give up on range units anyways. His long-term plan might be turtle ships on water. And then fire lancers could be an option on land. Oh my, he docked here. Ooh, okay. He did lose that villager there, but he's still keeping his fish alive for now. He docked the middle. Can Ciskhan's houses see that? Nope. Nope. Oh, dude. Turtle ships from the middle is not something I thought about, to be honest. Because I've seen a lot of the games in the Silver and Gold League, and we have not seen any docks here. So it's going to be turtle ship on the town center. Oh, that's going to be so uncomfortable. But again, you can expand into the corners. It's just a long way away. There's so much to worry about right now if you're Ciskhan. And we have Yo dropping a siege workshop. So the devs have not nerfed the whole Fire Lancer siege tower spam thing. And another tournament recently just straight up banned it. We did not want to ban it because I like the fact that it's a strat, but we did agree that it needs to be dealt with in some capacity. So we actually made some changes in our map scripts. We posted this information and these changes in the Discord if you want to read about it. Basically, it's less HP and you can only put 5 units in a siege tower now. So it's still an option, but it's weaker. Ciskhan finds out about the dock. Ciskhan's going to double dock now because he obviously knows there's a dock because there's a turtle ship. He doesn't know there's a siege workshop. He's making a rocket cart. And the fire galleys are coming around this way for Mr. Yo to snipe the fish. I think fish are not very important now. In the middle, though, the docks are very valuable. And Ciskhan, wow, he completes his second dock. Impressive. He didn't lose a villager there. Also getting the War Galley upgrade. I don't know if that will be enough on the outside and the inside, though, because we also have a tower from Yo. It's just so many tough units to deal with, man. The Fire Lancers could be so annoying. The rocket carts could end your life. And then the turtle ships as well. Like, there's just so many different things Ciskhan has to manage right now. Can he manage it under pressure? Yo will drop town center number 2 right beyond the tower. Realistically, I think the turtle ship in the middle for Yo is going to go down. The tower actually won't contribute that much. But you can't easily use fire ship. Well, maybe you could use fire ships to take down the town center. I don't know. There's no villagers around it. It's not like Yo is farming. Such a crazy game. Water on the inside and the outside brings so much value in Ciskhan. He'll take down the turtle ship. Sad turtle noises. Skirmisher will be in trouble as well. And then over here, maybe Ciskhan's got an issue. He still only has 1 dock on the outside. Micah from Ciskhan, he does get Bodkin. He's now collapsing on the Fire Lancers in the siege. But Yo realizes that, and Yo will back up. And Yo just slowly taking down the archer range as well. Yeah, for those that have submitted predictions and fantasy teams, you should be able to see all of that once results are posted onto the site. So for that to happen, we actually have to have a result. I don't know if it updates game by game. It'll probably be after the series. I would say maybe at the end of every day. So I'm actually kind of curious because that would also show how many people submitted teams, which last time was a couple hundred. But you won't be able to see it right now, as Ciskhan is just slowly being picked apart and slowly falling behind, guys. He never has enough to deal with this. Never had enough to deal with this. And Yo is on town centers now. Yo does really need to farm. He doesn't have like any farming eco, so that really needs to change. But he's got the town centers. And they're in good positions, and he's pressuring the only town center Ciskhan has right now. Yo just makes the game look so easy, man. Like, how does he just defend from what should be one of the most devastating rushes on a hybrid map and just get to the state of the game? It's crazy. He's so good. Ciskhan will have 2 relics, but none of the game plan was all about this, right? Ciskhan wanted the game to be over. He does land a demo. Maybe if he spots this and can push this area, but even then, against Koreans, there's towers. Pretty easy for Yo to defend. Yo is just buying food, too. Like, he is now adding farms, but he's done a lot of that this game. Just bought food. Fire Lancers obviously don't cost any food. It's a very good unit for what it is. Very cheap with the Koreans. And Yo sees this as well. Sees the Mangonel out of the darkness, backs away. It's got to be rough to be Ciskhan right now. He's a good player, but he probably doesn't even feel like it himself. Because it's just been 2 straight games where Mr. Yo... Well, they've been very different games, to be fair. The first game, Ciskhan was too defensive. Here, he tried to be offensive, and it didn't work in the slightest. Mr. Yo, always patient, always backing away towards the tower. This is the only chance Ciskhan has, I feel, is to go and raid in the north. He's been sitting at home with the Cav Archers. Maybe he needed to be more confident with them. Mr. Yo will see them. And he's just dropping another tower in the back. He did just lose a rocket cart to the Mangonel there from Ciskhan. So Ciskhan will keep his town center up for now. This is why Koreans are sick here, though. Your close quarters for towers. And your close quarters for the defense. And then, of course, the Fire Lancers. Yep, Ciskhan wanted to raid the wood line. There's already a tower waiting for him. And there's a turtle ship. 70 villagers for Yo. 53 for Ciskhan. And Mr. Yo even hoping to build another tower here. But might need to be a little bit more patient with that. I think the issue for Ciskhan was not the amount of longswords. It was the lack of follow-up behind the longswords. And he did try and go for the archer range. But, like, Yo was on the archer range a little bit faster. Yo could essentially use walls and range units to match the longsword army. And he wanted to break through. He got arson and everything, too. I just think I would have liked to see a tower rush. I think it always feels uncomfortable to tower rush a better tower civ. But I really would have liked to see tower with the man-at-arms and the range units. I think Yo would only be able to build one tower. Yo would not be able to leave his base for stone. And then this becomes a very different game. But Mr. Yo trying his best to defend from the cav archers. He's been saving up for a castle for a while. I think he knows about this town center. So a castle here would be crazy. He gave up on the tower idea. Is running away because the cav archers are coming to this area. Big shot for Yo. No. Good micro from Ciskhan. But here comes Yo with the villagers now. This is not the castle I would have expected from him. I'm guessing he doesn't know about that town center. I feel like that hill's really valuable as well. This actually could be risky because there is siege here, but he has the tower. He has so many villagers too. And it just feels like Yo's always going to have just enough for this castle to complete. Yeah, Yo doesn't even have Bodkin arrow. That's a good point. Blood Castle will go up. And so that will finally take this town center down. And, oh, boy. I'm telling you, this was the hill, guys. Yo might win this game, but this was the most important hill. They both had town centers here. Here, Yo doesn't protect himself. He just plays offensive. Does Yo see this? He does now. That castle will go up. That means the towers will go down. That means the town center will go down. And Ciskhan has expanded to the outside a little. He's dropping town centers. Maybe still has some solid chances in this game. He's still patrolling on the outside with cav archers to maybe catch Mr. Yo if Mr. Yo expands. It's still not good for Ciskhan economically in terms of population, but I think that's a good moment for him. This could get really chaotic, too. Yo could try and push in, build more castles. To me, I don't think Yo has played enough of the map to know how many resources are on the outside. He has not prioritized that at all. Ciskhan is expanding like he's been there and done that, right? Like a player who's promoted, who needs to practice because he knows the gods in this group of death are going to be an issue. So those little details, we've seen it in Titans League in the past. The first week or two, some of the big names are just like, well, you know, I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And then some of the underdogs really send it. And that gives them a chance. I really think Ciskhan can hang on in this game for a while. Yo's still making fire lancers, but he isn't exactly pressuring anywhere. Oh, God. He is going to pressure, though. We've got the choo-choo from the ram with the fire lancers. I think that ram will go down, but the mangonel will go down. That's a castle from Ciskhan, exactly where Yo was about to build a castle. Ciskhan saw the vills. He bought 300 stone to get his own castle. Will it complete? Oh, no. Oh, and now he cancels it. And now Yo's like, thanks, bro. That was a good spot. I agree. He places his own castle. And it's going to go up for Yo. There's no army here from Ciskhan. He can't do too much about it. Yo will still lose this town center. That's 2 castles for Yo. Could end up being 3 pretty soon. But now Ciskhan needs a castle as well. And and so now it's his turn. Unfortunately, Yo is farming there. But I guess you just back it up. You cram it into that area between the farms. He's so busy right now. Ciskhan, you got to build this castle. You have to do some counter damage quickly. Quickly. Place it right in that gap. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Meanwhile, we've got a warrior priest back here. I don't know if that'll do anything. Yo is expanding. Yo is fleeing. Yo is now pushing with fire lancers and towers, and he wants to push this town center. This game is just chaos. This game is just chaos. Bro, Yo is evacuating. Ciskhan is evacuating. But in these types of games, I really like the cheap Fire Lancer, and I really like Korean towers. The fact that Yo can just build a tower everywhere just to shut things down is really good. Or to supplement the push, right? And there goes Yo. And casually sends 20 villagers to the north. And he'll build outposts and find there's some stone up there. We found some gold over here too, but there are cav archers denying it somewhat. I'm going to assume Yo thinks he has Bodkin Arrow. I mean, there's no way he's pushing with this many towers without without wanting that. Ciskhan is actually starting to take the relics to a safe monastery. And that's not even being pushed, but I think he foresees that's going to go down and he wants to escape, which is interesting. I don't think I would do that, to be honest, because I think if you don't win this game fast, it's over anyways. But it could be a detail which we end up looking back on. Maybe late game on this map is all about Navy, because technically Navy could just gotta range everything. So maybe Armenians could just play Castle on the Shoreline. Run, buddy, run! Castle on the Shoreline and Galleon. He is imping. And Yo is nowhere close. But still so painful for Ciskhan because so much of his eco is just surrounded by towers and siege. And this castle doesn't range this town center. So it's not like Yo is losing any more ground. Yo knows he's out here, so Yo will build a siege workshop there too. Yo's getting ballistics. Here comes the docks now from Ciskhan. Yeah, this tells me that Ciskhan's played a couple games on this. And that he's realizing you could maybe win with full water as a comeback mechanic. He does lose the church, so he got those relics back to the church, which is nice. But Yo is up here already, dude. If Yo finds you're up here, Yo's just going to tower you. What a crazy game. Yo is making rams. I don't even know where to look. Yo is going to ram push this town center right now. I think Ciskhan's doing everything he can to try and hold on and come back. He takes down the turtle. He's adding more fires. Yo will see he's on that stone. Ciskhan is going to church. It is church versus tower. And the tower is always going to be a little bit slower there. But he didn't garrison, so I don't know what's happening. I think he's a little bit busy. Relics are going to be ejected from this anyways. Quick ones from Ciskhan. Yo's got more rams coming from different angles. Up here, we got church versus tower still. Ciskhan's about to be an imp, which means Trebs. And with Trebs from 2 castles, he can take down Yo's town centers. This is the type of game where Yo could easily go imp in the wrong town center. Another castle? I mean, that's a little risky, but guys, the mule cart is blocking the tower fire. Look at that. Yo is focusing on the vills. The mule cart was blocking some of the tower fire. Look, it's still doing it. There was actually a tournament where they banned doing that while TC dropping. That's right. So you could like sit your mule cart underneath your town center when you town center drop somebody, and it would soak up all the damage. They had to ban that, but I mean, this is such a niche thing. It doesn't affect normal games that much. Castle goes up now, though. Okay, Ciskhan is an imp, but like he's still dying. He does still have some semblance of an economy. Where is Yo going imp? Okay, Yo is going imp in the safest town center he has. Smart, because this one could go down. This one could go down. To me, it just feels like it's going to take so long for Ciskhan to take down the castles. And by the time he does, if he does, Yo is going to have military and be fine. Like, Yo's not losing villagers. Ciskhan is losing villagers everywhere you look. Yo's just still going to casually spam these fire lancers. And, yeah, again, that's not the imp TC. But he's going to... Yo's going to make the fire lancers and probably just use the fire lancers under the castle at a certain point. I do not think Ciskhan should resign here. He's Trebs significantly faster than his opponent. He's taking down castles. He has comp bowmen. Comp bowmen are okay against the fire lancers. He is doing some damage to Yo. He's got nice momentum. Taking down this many town centers and castles is huge. But Do I think he's going to win the game? Probably not. Yo's resources are still looking really good. It's just he's starting to lose grounds here. Yo will build the monastery here. Remember, Yo has 3 relics at home. He's about to steal these 2 as well. So Yo will have all the relics then, except for 1. And all right, so now Yo's an imp. Yeah, guys, if you're coming in from YouTube and you're used to watching me at 2 times speed, I'm sorry I can't compete with my 2 times speed self. I haven't had any caffeine today, so I will try and improve. I can maybe bump it up to 1.05 speed, but if you watch me on 2 times speed on YouTube, I'm sorry. But I'm probably going to sound exhausted or something. I get it. I do the same thing. And Monk here might see the villagers escaping for Yo. But I think Ciskhan's got all of his focus on his trebuchets right now. Elite Fire Lancers completed. Plate mail armor's on the way for Yo. And he can just do this. This is the fear. This is the problem. And Yo still has his other castle, too. He might only be on 1 town center, but he still has 123 villas against 60. And he can fix the town center problem. That is a really crazy tower placement from Yo, but hey, build it where you can, I guess. And he can do more of that as well, with 700 stone in the bank. Why can't you see the YouTube chat on stream? So, if you're a Twitch streamer with a Twitch partnership agreement, which obviously I am, so they allow to multi-stream to other platforms now, but you're not allowed to have the other platforms' chats incorporated on screen. And I'll say what it is. Basically, that is Twitch recognizing, holy crap, we are maybe losing some of the control over the streaming space. We don't want our creators to leave. But also, they want to be just a little bit more important. So yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule. So that's why I can't have YouTube chat up. But I can still see YouTube chat and acknowledge YouTube chat, you know. So I see you, YouTube chat. Including the couple people who said thanks for streaming on YouTube, and also the person who said T90 streaming on YouTube. Chemistry gets denied. That's my high school experience. Had to take chemistry twice. So I guess Ciskhan will have to build another university now. Been there. Not fun. Not really pushing this far, honestly. Like, he would love to push a little bit further, but there's always towers. And now he's getting pushed on this side, and obviously he just lost the town center here, and... I mean, Ciskhan's trying his best. I will say that I thought he was completely dead, and he had no chances. The castles he placed up here in the north gave him a really solid shot. And it was kind of similar in the previous game. There should have been no chance, and then he won a couple fights and made you think, maybe he can, but... He just couldn't gain any early initiative against Mr. Yo. And Mr. Yo just doesn't lose from here. His economy is just too large. And the Fire Lancers are too good. He doesn't even have capped ram yet, and he's pushing confidently. More villagers get killed. This is one of 2 town centers that Ciskhan has. And he's about to lose that to the bombard cannon. He loses his relic there, too. This town center will be found as well. But Ciskhan's looking here, and Ciskhan's thinking, well, I'm keeping my castle up. And he's taking the trebs. So that's a positive. Mr. Yo is even producing a cannon galleon now. In a really close game on this map, I think we will see shipwright and big navy spam. Also, they're releasing a new DLC and a new patch for this game midway through this season. And part of that changes water balance. So, I mean, that's a whole nother thing to factor into Season 5. So, definitely going to need to be some adaptability for the players. Okay, oh my god, he's going to have to take chemistry a 3rd time. Oh my god, chemistry's getting denied again. Wasn't that bad for me. The second time I took chemistry, my teacher basically had sympathy and helped me and gave me some of the answers. Not going to lie. But it's fine. I got it done. Ciskhan, he tried. He went aggressive early. He went for the longsword play. Again, it just wasn't messy enough And Mr. Yo was able to get to Castle Age. That is where the Koreans thrive. The towers, the rocket carts, the fire lancers, just so strong. And I will say, I think Yo learned a little bit of a lesson there on the castle spot. I think the correct castle spot would have maybe been the north, but still. It always felt like Mr. Yo was going to be able to win that with the eco lead. Now, in other tournaments, it's over. Ciskhan has nothing to play for. We move on to another series soon. Or in other tournaments, if it's a best of 5, it's like Ciskhan, even if he wins one game, it does nothing, right? It does nothing because he would win one game and then he'd still lose 3-1. In this tournament, every win counts. Every win goes towards the group stage standings, and there's also money on the line for every win. So Ciskhan would love, absolutely love, to snag a victory here still. It will be tougher, though, because it will be on Yo's terms. It will be on Yo's home map. A great job from Yo. Big wood, gold, stone count that game, and a beautiful KD. So I say beautiful KD, it's even. But yeah, it's acceptable. That is completely fine. Not an issue to have an even KD when your opponent goes for long swords in feudal age. Game 3, win would be nice for Ciskhan here. I think my theory in Titans League is you always need to avoid getting swept. If you get swept, that means that is 3 wins you're going to have to recover, and the groups are not going to get much easier. But I feel like if you're someone like Ciskhan and you lose 2-1 3 times, so you get 3 wins, and then you could win 2-1 once, maybe that's enough for survival. But then, like, snag, maybe even lose 2-1 4 times and then win 2-1 or win 3-0 once. That can mean survival. So his win still matters for so much. Obviously, for Mr. Yo, he's in the group of death. So flip side for Mr. Yo is like, if he loses the game to Ciskhan, Yo's going to think, well, no, maybe Hera's not going to lose the game to Ciskhan. Maybe the others won't. So, anyways, it's reverse Acropolis. You're in a massive pit with tiny wood lines. You can stay here. There's enough wood where you don't need your first lumber camp to be outside of this area. But it's really dangerous because if you're surrounded and you don't have any of the other wood, stones, and golds locked down, you'll have some issues. Yo actually found a nice wood spot here. But Ciskhan's got the same options if he wants. Ciskhan with the Gurjara build has gone for the early mill, so he'll have to recover the wood from the straggler trees. Reese is taking notes. Not good to lose every game. Got it. Thanks. Yeah, I hope it helps. I hope it helps. Yeah, my advice, guys, is just win. If you're ever playing AoE2, people say, T90, what tips can you give me? Just win. It does a lot for you, so... Jerome says that is a hole, not a pit. There's no way this is a hole. This is like a crater. I like to say pit because I'm a big Parks and Rec fan, and it makes me think of Andy's song about how he fell in the pit. But yeah, whatever it is, it's the opposite of standard Acropolis. A lot more reason for map control. Army gets a lot more value here. And so Ciskhan's building his lumber camp on the top now. To be honest, though, I'm not going to go counting every tree, but I think this would have a similar amount of wood for the start. A lot of it's where your buildup is going to be, though. Where is your focus? So if you have the lumber camp here, all your military buildings are up here as well, which it protects it. And just protects all the areas around. Scotch tape. Thank you for the gifted sub, man. Appreciate that. T90 Parks and Rec versus The Office. You have to choose one. Oof. Office is more nostalgic for me, and Office I will watch more because it's kind of like my comfort show, but I don't actually think it's as good a show as Parks and Rec. I think Parks and Rec is the superior show, but for my nostalgia and my brain, who just likes to have something on in the background sometimes and not really pay attention, you know, I would watch The Office more, so... But chat might disagree with me on that. Villagers coming to the top for Ciskhan. I'll pay attention to see if he's pulling sheep out of his mill. Because you've got the berries underneath the TC. He's actually letting the board decay. And he's going super heavy on wood. I think this might be archers. I would guess this is going to be archers. Archers into scouts would make a lot of sense here. Yo is attacking. I don't think Yo did that on purpose either. Yo didn't know the woodline was there. So he just patrolled his scout in case he found the camel, and he found some villagers. Half his scout is gone now. That's really bad for him. And scout HP is kind of everything, but at least he knows where the lumber camp is. And there's the, not the archer range, but the mining camp for Ciskhan. Yeah, this is a nice build. He's got a lot of food. The issue is, you still have the eco at home you need to wall and defend too. So this you could bubble wall, build out around the barracks. Crazy Geometer is asking if I'm casting MBO and Hera later. Dude, I'm casting every game. Yeah. I won't miss a single set of plat. We'll also be covering silver and gold action. Absolutely. Anything you see on that schedule that's in platinum, you can expect. Platinum schedule is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. There's the occasional week where there's a break for platinum. That way we can cover the silver and gold playoffs. But yeah, in terms of coverage days, Friday through Monday, 3 sets a day for platinum. And then hopefully some other stuff on the other days. Damn, this is some crazy walling. Like, I kind of like it, though, if you can complete the walls. I still feel like this could be disastrous. And this means he's not going to be aggressive for a while here. He's giving Yo a lot of time to cook. This still needs to be walled in. He can't blindly move forward with random archers because Yo could just snipe him with scouts. So he's just focused at home. I hope he realizes there's a hole here. He does have the camel and the spearman there, so I think it's unlikely that Yo will find any damage there. These are actually the villagers that are the most exposed. But Ciskhan just still building up that archer mass. Yo has seen the archer range. He's just waiting for him to move out. You see that? That's why you can't blindly move out at all. You have to have that camel there. And Ciskhan, I'm not sure if he caught a glimpse of those scouts or not, but perfect timing. Spearman's here. Gate is up. And, oh no. Oh no. That is so, this is a hole. The base is a pit, but this is a hole. And that's a hole as well. Oh. That's so frustrating. You put so much time and effort into getting walled, and then you lose a villager anyways. But that's not an awful trade. You kill a scout at least. Your Gurjaras, your eco's still good. My worry is the pastures is one of the best food ecos in the game, and Yo's just back here having all the time to build them up. So I just don't know if this opening of playing archers is aggressive enough against the Khitans. The Khitans get the double forging too, so their scouts have so much firepower. Remember game 1, guys? Ciskhan clicked outside of his walls to see if there was a hole. Unfortunately, he had built a gate, so he left through the gate, and then he deleted the villager, actually. Here, he should do the same thing. You click behind, and you would find that hole. Will he do it? He just lost his camel there. He's not doing it. Oh, man. If double forging scouts get into your base, you're in such big trouble. But Yo's never going to assume that the opponent would be so foolish either, right? Like, Yo's going to assume that it's completely walled. Yo might never find it. It would be very Mr. Yo to consider a tower here. If he ends up clearing up the army, I think he will, but that's a long way to walk. He still doesn't know how many archers are in there. And okay, Yo has clicked behind, I'm guessing. Okay, and Ciskhan can see the scouts move this way. He's going to panic here. He sees the scouts move this way, and he doesn't even know. Oh, my good. Now we know. Yeah, he double checks, and now he's like, ah, shit. No. Yeah, he definitely realized with the pathing of his villager. Nice quick walls. The scouts are through. It's actually really nice, though. That's nice damage from the town center, at least. That could have been worse. Nice quick walls. Unfortunately, your barracks is all the way over here, though. And you weren't planning on making spearmen, but sheesh. Nice quick walls here, Ciskhan. Still going to lose some villagers, though. All the villagers inside the TC are idle. This is some amazing damage for Mr. Yo. Ciskhan's plan was to go for a nice castle age time and crossbowman, it seems. I don't think he was planning on moving out with those archers at all. And Yo will be so happy with how this game has gone. He's so happy with how the series has gone. Particularly because Yo is known as a slow starter. Oh my god, he just sniped the farm. He is so confident. He just sniped the farm. That's 60 wood down the drain there from Ciskhan. It's weird, but a farm foundation has 1 HP. So you can't actually hit them. Unlike buildings, which will have 0 HP until they start being built. I don't actually have an explanation for why it works that way. But it does work that way. And I like the fact it works that way. Because it's rare, but stuff like that can happen. Oh, there's the tower. There's the tower. Ciskhan thinks he's fine. He is not fine. He is not fine. He can't take the wood line now. Still trying to deal with this headache. Still chasing the scouts. And now there's a tower on his wood line. And now if the villagers run, the scouts are waiting. He might need to show his archers. He just lost another villager. Yo is having too much fun right now. Yo knows the villagers left and his scouts are here. But the archers are here. The scouts, though, have good upgrades. And there's no fletching. There's no fletching for Ciskhan. He was still waiting for Castle Age. And everything just went wrong for him in this game. And Mr. Yo wins 3-0. I don't know. I think you have to keep in mind, this was not Ciskhan's map. This was Yo's map. If there was an opportunity, it probably would have been in game number 2. That was the map and the matchup that he probably wanted. But Mr. Yo is one of the favorites. He's one of the best players in the world. And he reminded everybody because, I mean, he just made that look very easy. So, nice job from Yo. I loved everything about this from him today. I think he's only going to get better. So, the conversation in the group, though, is pretty crazy. Let me just pull up the group real quick. Because it is not a guarantee that Mr. Yo even makes playoffs in this group. Every year, we have a group of death. And I think it's pretty clear. I mean, all the groups are insane, but I think it's pretty clear that Yo's group is probably the group of death here. Because you look at Group A, stacked. But Group B has Hart, Hera, Vinchester, and Yo, who at least when it comes to qualifying for Red Bull, were all in the top 8 there. I know there was different settings and form can come and go, but only 3 can make playoffs. You have to be 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to make playoffs. And then 4th place just stays alive for Plat next time. So this will be updated by Liquipedia. Yo. Oop, flashbang. Yeah, this will be updated. Yo's going to be at the top. Very good start for him. Later on today, we're going to see Hera versus Lucho. See how Hera starts off. Another situation where a newly promoted player, a younger player, is going to be up against a beast. Hart Vinchester will be another day, but that'll be probably maybe the closest set in Group B for Titans League. Group A is here. You can see what the matchups are going to end up being. We got Barrels, Leary, Lakes, MBL, Rapard, and Tato there. Group C and Group D as well. All very solid groups. My feeling is that Group D is a group that has players that can sometimes struggle with consistency. So that might be the group that's hardest to predict for me. Group C is wild, though, trying to pick the bottom 2. I would maybe say Freakin' Andy and Running as the bottom 2. But even that just feels like so unfair to both of those players because of what they've done in Titans League before. Freakin' Andy especially has had some really nice run. I remember he was the only one to beat Hera in the group stage. He prepares really well. So could be Lewis is the newly promoted player there. Maybe Lewis is the guy you predict to go down, but he's playing well. So, yeah, tough to say. Tough to say.